Think about it. What if everything you've ever known about yourself, the way you make decisions, the way you feel about others, the way you react, what if all of that isn't truly your doing? What if the very thoughts you think are your own are being manipulated every single day? We often like to believe that our decisions are entirely our own, that when we choose freely. But what if I told you that every choice you make, from the smallest decision to the most important ones, is shaped by invisible forces working beneath the surface? The truth is, psychological manipulation is all around us. It's in the way we interact with others, in the ads we see, in the news we read. And it's not just external forces. It's in our own minds, too. The mind, in all its complexity, is constantly tricking us into doing things we don't realize we're doing. Psychological manipulation, in its simplest form, is about influencing another person's mind and actions without them realizing it. It's an art and science wrapped into one, and it's not always evil. Sometimes it's subtle. It might even feel like something normal or expected, something that seems harmless, but deep down it starts pulling your strings. We don't often think of ourselves as being manipulated, do we? Most of the time, we see manipulation as something overt, like a con artist convincing you to give away your life savings or a controlling partner bullying you into submission. But manipulation doesn't always look like that. Most manipulation happens quietly. It's that little voice in your head that says, "Maybe I am overreacting," when you confront someone who has wronged you. It's that pressure you feel to go along with something because everyone else is doing it. It's those small compromises that build up, making you feel like you have no choice but to comply. Think about it. How many times have you been in a situation where you said, "I didn't want to do that, but I couldn't say no"? Maybe it was a favor you agreed to because you felt obligated. Or maybe it was someone convincing you that a decision was in your best interest when, in reality, it served their agenda. To truly understand manipulation, we need to look at why it works. Why are we so susceptible to being influenced? The answer lies in the very nature of our minds, and we don't have to look far to find answers. In fact, some of the world's most brilliant minds have explored this. Take, for instance, the work of Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology. Freud understood that much of our behavior is influenced by the unconscious mind, those deep-rooted thoughts, desires, and fears that we are barely aware of. According to Freud, much of what drives us is hidden beneath the surface, and what we think is a logical choice is often a product of unconscious desires we don't even realize we have. Freud argued that manipulation often happens by tapping into this unconscious layer. It's the reason you might feel a certain way about a situation, not because of the logic behind it, but because of an unseen psychological need or fear that's being triggered. Then we have B.F. Skinner, an American psychologist and behaviorist. Skinner believed that human behavior could be shaped by rewards and punishments, what we know today as operant conditioning. This concept is widely used in advertising and marketing, where companies reinforce certain behaviors by offering rewards. It's why we continue to buy products, not because we truly need them, but because we've been conditioned to associate them with pleasure, satisfaction, or social status. Skinner's research into reinforcement shows just how easy it is to manipulate behavior through subtle cues and incentives. And it doesn't take a psychologist to see this in action every time we scroll through social media or watch a commercial. But manipulation isn't limited to the work of psychologists. Philosophers like Friedrich Nietzsche also explored how our perceptions of reality could be shaped by external forces. Nietzsche talked about how society, and the people in it, impose false values upon us, creating systems that condition us to behave in certain ways. In his book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, he urges us to challenge these imposed beliefs, suggesting that true freedom comes when we break free from society's manipulative influence and start thinking for ourselves. What Nietzsche was really talking about is the need to recognize external influences and to resist them. Manipulation doesn't just happen in personal relationships. It's embedded in our society, our media, and even in the ways we think about ourselves. We live in a world today where manipulation is everywhere. From the advertisements we see, to the way social media algorithms shape our thoughts and emotions, manipulation is no longer just a tactic used by individuals in close relationships. It's a systemic issue. Think about it. We spend hours on social media platforms, and with every scroll, we're bombarded with messages that tell us what we should like, what we should wear, who we should be. We're constantly being told that we need more. More things, more validation, more approval. And the worst part? We don't even realize how much we're being controlled. Let's talk about something that impacts nearly every one of us on a daily basis: the manipulation of the media and society. We all interact with the media, whether it's the news, advertisements, or social media platforms. But we rarely stop to think about how much of what we see is designed to influence our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Every time you watch an ad or scroll through your Instagram feed, your mind is being influenced. And the scary part is, we don't even realize it. When was the last time you saw a car ad that didn't make you feel like you needed that car to feel successful? Or when was the last time you looked at someone's vacation pictures on social media and felt like your life wasn't good enough? This is manipulation in its most subtle form. It's not always someone sitting across from you, convincing you to think or feel a certain way. Sometimes it's the unseen hands of marketers, advertisers, and content creators shaping your reality, making you believe that you need something you don't, or want something that isn't truly aligned with your authentic self. Take a moment to think about the last time you were sold something. I'm not just talking about a product, but the last time an idea, a lifestyle, or a belief was sold to you. That's manipulation, and it's everywhere. It's embedded in the algorithms that decide what posts you see on your social media, the products that are pushed to the front of your shopping page, and even in the news stories that dominate your attention. Now, why does this happen? Why is it so powerful? Because we, as humans, are hardwired to trust the information we see, especially when it's repeated over and over again. It taps into our need for belonging, for approval, and our emotional responses. While media and society have their impact, there's one place where manipulation is often felt the hardest: in our personal relationships. Whether it's with a partner, a family member, a friend, or even a colleague, manipulation can be devastating in these intimate spaces. Think about the relationships in your life. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt controlled or like you were walking on eggshells? Always trying to please someone, always questioning whether you're doing the right thing? Emotional manipulation doesn't always look like yelling or being overtly aggressive. Sometimes it's much quieter. Sometimes it's subtle, like when someone uses guilt or shame to make you feel like you owe them something. Or when they play on your insecurities, telling you that you're not good enough, and they are the only one who truly understands you. These are tactics of emotional manipulation, the kind that chips away at your confidence, that distorts your sense of self, and that leaves you questioning your own worth. You end up doubting your perceptions of reality, making you feel dependent on the manipulator for validation, approval, or love. Imagine being in a relationship where every argument turns into a battle of emotions, where you're made to feel guilty for expressing your feelings or unworthy for standing up for yourself. This is the power of manipulation in relationships. It can make you question your very reality and force you into behaviors that go against your own values and desires. So now that we understand what manipulation is and how it can show up in different areas of our lives, let's talk about how to recognize it and protect yourself. The first and most important step is to trust yourself. The human mind is incredibly powerful, and it knows when something is wrong. The trick is, we often ignore that gut feeling because we're either too afraid of confrontation or we feel obligated to go along with something. But that feeling, that gut instinct, is your mind's way of protecting you. So, listen to it. Think about times when you felt uneasy in a conversation or situation. Were you feeling manipulated in some way? Were you being made to feel guilty, less than, or pressured to go along with something you didn't want to do? The second step is to set clear boundaries. Boundaries are the walls that protect your mental and emotional well-being. If someone crosses them, it's a red flag. And setting boundaries is not just about saying no. It's about asserting your right to maintain control over your decisions and your space. And finally, remember that knowledge is power. The more you learn about psychological manipulation, the less likely you are to fall victim to it. When you understand how manipulation works, you can spot it from a mile away, and once you spot it, you'll know how to shut it down. Psychological manipulation is everywhere. It's woven into the fabric of our relationships, our society, and even within ourselves. But that doesn't mean we're powerless. In fact, the more you understand how your mind works, the more you can protect yourself from being influenced by external forces. You are in control of your mind. Now that you have the tools to recognize manipulation and defend yourself, you have the power to live more authentically, to make choices that are truly yours, and to surround yourself with people who respect and empower you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If any part of this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What was the most surprising moment for you? Was there a time you felt manipulated but didn't even realize it? Share your experiences and reflections in the comments below. I truly believe we can learn so much from each other's stories. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and join the PsycheTrix community. Together, we'll continue to unravel the complexities of the human mind, one psychological insight at a time. Every week, I'll bring you new ideas to explore, helping you navigate the hidden forces that shape your life and decisions. I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Take care, and remember, your mind is your greatest tool. Let's keep it sharp.